Want to use the Gemini API key for free? Well, don't be surprised when we tell you that Google has made the process quite simple. Find out here how. As of now, technology giant Google is providing Gemini Pro models for both text and vision models for use through the API. This will allow users to feed images to Gemini Pro's visual model through the API and also go through its multimodal abilities with coding use cases. Let us know how it all started. On the 13th of December 2023, Google published a blog titled, "It's time for developers and enterprises to build with Gemini Pro." The 5-minute read blog allows readers to know how they can integrate Gemini Pro in their app or business at ai.google.dev. After Google announced Gemini AI, it released API access for its Gemini models. Presently, the Google Gemini API key is free for both text and vision models. It will be free until it will be generally made available by early 2024. So as of now, users can send up to 60 requests per minute without having to pay any extra penny or set up Google Cloud billing. You will be amazed to note that Google has not yet added the visual capability to its AI tool, Bard, considering it is functioning only on the text-only model. With Google Gemini API key, users can ultimately test Gemini's multimodal capability on their laptops locally at an instant level. Google had already announced in the first week of December 2023 that Gemini is their largest and most capable AI model. It is the next step in their journey to create AI that is useful for one and all. For the unversed, Gemini is available in 3 sizes such as Ultra, Pro, and Nano. The company has already begun launching Gemini and its products. For example, users can find Gemini Nano in Android, beginning with Pixel 8 Pro, and a particularly tuned version of Gemini Pro is already in Bard. So, right now, Google has made Gemini Pro available for businesses and developers so that they can develop their own use cases. The company also promises to additionally fine-tune Gemini in the coming weeks and months ahead after taking user feedback. If you want to access Gemini Pro, then you would have already understood how it is now accessible through the Gemini API. Here we detail more about its features. Gemini Pro can outperform different similarly sized models based on research standards. The present version of Gemini Pro contains a 32K context window for text. And guess what? The upcoming versions will have a larger context window. As of now, Gemini Pro is free to use, but there are certain limitations. The creators are planning to price it competitively, as it will come with an array of different features. For example, function calling, embeddings, semantic retrieval, and custom knowledge grounding, and chat functionality are some of the features that Google is planning to add to Gemini Pro. Gemini Pro right now supports 38 languages across 180+ nations and territories all over the world. In the current release, Gemini Pro will accept text as input and also generate text as output. There is also a dedicated Gemini Pro Vision multimodal endpoint available right now that accepts text and images as input by delivering text as output. SDKs are open for Gemini Pro to assist you in developing apps that run anywhere. Python, Android, Kotlin, Node.js, Swift, and JavaScript are all supported. At present, developers can get free access to Gemini Pro and Gemini Pro Vision with the help of Google AI Studio. Developers can send up to 60 requests per minute, thus making it convenient for most of the requirements of apps. You will be amazed to note that Vertex AI developers can also try similar models with the same rate limitations at zero cost until the tool is made publicly available by early 2024. Then there will be an anticipated charge per 1,000 characters or probably per image across Google AI Studio and even Vertex AI. Yeah, you heard it right. After all, nothing comes for free, and why would AI developments be served for free to users? In early 2024, Google plans to also launch Gemini Ultra, which will be the company's most capable model for majorly complex tasks. It will be launched after further enhancements, safety testing, and collecting important feedback from partners. The company also plans to bring Gemini to more of their developer platforms, such as Firebase and Chrome. So, as we mentioned about Google AI Studio, let us tell you what it is all about. Google AI Studio is a free-to-use web-based developer tool. It allows developers to design prompts in a fast manner and then get an API key to integrate into their app development. If developers have a Google account, then they can sign into Google AI Studio and make use of the free quota, which assists in submitting 60 requests per minute, which is 20 times more than other free services. Once the developer user is ready, then he simply has to click on Get Code to transfer their work to their IDE of choice, or utilize one of the quick start templates obtainable in Android Studio, Colab, or Project IDX. To enhance product quality, when developers utilize the free quota, their API and Google AI Studio input and output may be available to trained reviewers. This information information will not be stored in the developers' Google accounts and their API keys. Here is how developers can design with Vertex AI on Google Cloud. When it is time for a fully handled AI platform, developers can swiftly change from Google AI Studio to Vertex AI. This will allow developers for Gemini's customization with complete data control and advantages from the extra Google Cloud features for enterprise security, privacy, safety, and data governance and compliance. Thus, with Vertex AI, developers can have access to similar Gemini models, and they will be able to tune and distill Gemini with their own firm's information and enhance it with grounding to include updated information and extensions to take real-world actions. Gemini-powered search and conversational agents can also be developed in a low-code or no-code environment. This will include support for retrieval augmented generation, RAG, blended search, embeddings, conversation playbooks, and more. Developers can deploy with confidence and assurance as the company never instructs their models on inputs or outputs from Google Cloud customers. The developer's data and IP would usually be their data and IP. API keys can be made by visiting the API settings page and by clicking on Create a new API key. Developers will get then prompting with their new keys as well as a menu to assign the role of the keys. Want to know what role and scope would the developers be using when creating API keys? When an API key is created, developers provide an application access to their account. Upon the creation of the API keys, developers must allow the permissions granted to those keys. Each application should have its own key, and thus permissions can be granted specifically for every application. Setting the scope identifies which account one is granting access to. Master will be considered the equivalent of all the accounts one uses. For the majority of the users, usually they have only one account, and thus this option works better. For users with different accounts, users may also provide access to just one account by choosing that account name from the list. The majority of the users have a primary account by default as their only account. For users with 2 or more accounts, those accounts will have special user-generated names. Users can choose an account from the drop-down upon API key creation. The master scope provides the application granted access through the key to the capacity to make new accounts, transfer funds or view balances, and trade or transfer funds on behalf of any of your accounts. Choosing any other account name will provide the key to the capability to view account balances, trade, or transfer funds for that particular account. For users having only one account, this account will be tagged as primary in the majority of the cases. Developers with different roles or developers working for professionals in different domains can make use of the API keys as per their roles. Thus, establishing the role identifies what permissions the key has for the account or accounts chosen. Auditors utilize this read-only API key to check balances, check orders status, check transfers such as withdrawals and deposits, see all active orders, see trade volume, and see past trades. For fund managers, this API key can be utilized to check balances, create new BTC or ETH deposit addresses, and withdraw BTC or ETH to approved addresses. For traders, API keys can be utilized for checking balances, placing and canceling orders, checking the order's status, and also viewing all active orders. Have you used Gemini Pro yet? Wondering how to get started? Well, as you already noticed, Google has made it easier for developers to use this new Google AI SDK, and they need not develop and manage their back-end infrastructure. Google AI SDK is considered to be the best performing model as of now. As per Google, Gemini Pro will be their most suitable model with features for a huge range of text and image reasoning tasks. Gemini Pro also functions off-device in the data centers of Google and can be made available through the Gemini API. If you liked watching our video, click on like and subscribe to our channel.